After Jefferson City, we went through Illinois and Indiana. We were in E85 heaven. Illinois has almost 100 stations and Indiana has about 20. Why do people in the Midwest use E85? Well, for one thing, the Midwest is where the corn is. In the Midwest, E85 is actually cheaper at a lot of gas stations than gasoline, or the same price. In other parts of the country, that definitely wasn't the case. Next, we went to Louisville, Kentucky, where we got another disappointment. Now we're in Louisville, Kentucky at one of Kentucky's 2 E85 stations. This one is unfortunately out of E85, and the only other one in the state is in Hopkinsville, more than 100 miles off our route, so we're not going to make it there. I talked to the station manager, his name is John Cecil, and he says they actually don't sell much E85 to the public because it costs $2.91 a gallon currently, compared to $2.87 for regular unleaded. And when the price gets that high, he says the public just isn't interested. Most of the E85 he sells is to people with government vehicles. We also filled up in Ohio, going about 30 miles off our route to fill up in Hilliard near Columbus. Ohio was the last state where we were able to fill up with the E85. Pennsylvania has 2 stations. One of them is closed to the public, and the other required a special gas card that we didn't have. New Jersey doesn't have any E85 to speak of, and then we got to New York. So is E85 a viable alternative fuel for most people? Well, if they're willing to really look for it, and even then they might not be able to. Between Los Angeles and New York, we were able to find a total of 7 E85 stations along our route, and as you saw, not all of them actually had E85 available. We saw even more roadside dinosaurs and billboards advertising tours of caves. So what did we get out of all this? E85 is a lot easier to come by in the Midwest than in the rest of the country, but that might be changing. Politicians and automakers are talking about it more than ever before, and increased public interest is leading to more fueling stations opening. In fact, in New York State, where I'm moving, recent legislation would make it much easier for the average person to get E85. And who knows, maybe sometime soon, you'll be able to fill up with it too.